Compton rapper Roddy Ricch is known to deliver infectious tracks, and it's his impressive vocals that continue to set him apart in the game. But what is it that makes it so addicting?
Shawty made that step, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like Goyard, G-Wagon, or the Rover. I put some ice on you cause you gotta.
Being able to understand the beat, lock to the beat, make sure that your rhymes are flowing is one thing. But then to be able to change up the rhythms, I think that that's where we're at in 2020, and that's where the magic of hip-hop is really, really coming in.
That's Prince Charles Alexander, a professor at the Berklee School of Music with production credits for his work with artists like P. Diddy, the late Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Destiny's Child. He sat down with Genius News to break down a few of the rapper's vocals and melodies.
I think Roddy's voice is a bit universal. It is very much a singer's voice.
First up is Ballin'. Prince Charles categorizes Roddy Ricch as a tenor vocal, with his notes lying between C3 and C5 on a piano.
So he goes a little below C4 to hit his low G3, and then he goes up to an E4.
I put the new 4Gs on the G. I trap into the bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100 racks inside my jeans.
Prince Charles says that achieving vocals in this way has to be natural. No tech involved.
Auto-tune is not going to do that for you. You literally have to know that you're in the key of G, because if you hit an E flat or a D, then everybody's going to say something is off. That does happen for some performers. But Roddy, I've seen many of his performances, and he's pretty on and hits most of his notes just the way a musician does.
I put the new 4Gs on the Jeep. I trap into the bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my hitters got it out the streets. And I keep 100 racks inside my jeans.
Next up is High Fashion off of 2019's Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. The sleeper hit has a simplicity to it that artists like Sade have used to create their signature sound.
Sade had some excellent compositions where literally her voice range would be within an octave.
Somewhere to start. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator.
Roddy does something that most singers do, where you hang out around the key of the song. So his lowest note is a D3, and his highest note in that song is an F sharp 4.
I know I gotta keep my shorty on go, go, go. Drop that ass to the floor, yeah. Whoa. You ain't gotta deal with none of these niggas no more.
There's really powerful information that can be delivered even when you're just using 2 or 3 notes.
On the box, Roddy uses a seasoned technique of tension and release that pushes the constraints of the composition, creating a special moment that keeps fans coming back.
The highest note that Roddy hits is this E flat 4. He says it quite a few times.
I was at back, where the stash at? Cruise the city in a bulletproof Cadillac.
If you listen to them, all of his compositions have that one peak note in his melodies that really push their way out of the composition. And it's very similar to what Alicia Keys does when she goes. She really is up at the top of her range trying to emote. I do think that those high notes help the emotion of the performance.
On his breakout hit Die Young, Roddy embraces a wider range in his vocals that showcases his skill.
Roddy hits an E4 again, which is similar to the high note he hits in Balling. And he'll go down to lower parts of the scale, and I think he goes down to a G3, which is actually pretty low for Roddy when he actually starts doing the rhyming.
If I ever get caught like it, they gon' slide. Ever since I got the rollie, I ain't got the time. Flawless diamond niggas can't never block the shine.
So when I'm listening to it, I don't feel like I'm hearing him out of tune, sliding across notes incorrectly. It feels very, very precise. And I think that precision is perceived by people that listen as somebody that really knows what they're doing and really, really gets it and is delivering the craft well.
I'd rather be judged by 12 than cared by 6. I'ma gon' post bail, just look at my wrist. Tell me why the legends always gotta die quick.
In 2020, DaBaby and Roddy Ricch teamed up for Rockstar, which flexed their vocal compatibility.
They're both tenors. Roddy's at the higher end of the tenor spectrum, and DaBaby is at the lower end of the tenor spectrum.
Put me on that nigga, get the bus. Yeah. And if I ain't enough, go get the top. Keep a Glockin' when I ride in the Suburban. Cause the codeine had a young nigga swerving.
And that's why coming together on one record, they can complement each other. I think the Jonas Brothers did it on the song Sucker.
looking for you.
In this case, literally the range of the melody of what both of these guys are doing on that record, where they're choosing different notes within the scale of that composition, is just different enough for them to not be on top of each other.
Incorporating a number of styles within one singular composition is what excites fans when they listen to a Roddy cut.
When people sing, I think what they're doing is they're expanding the melody. I could put the needle down anywhere on that record or put the play cursor anywhere on that record, and I feel like I'm getting a different composition. So in many ways, you're getting two songs for the price of one.
I don't have a plan going into the shit, or I don't really think too hard, so that's really why. It could be anything. It could be random. I really want to be unpredictable.
And his live performances flex that skill even more, slipping in moments to harmonize to create new recordings every performance.
We noticed that live, he was able to push to go to a higher note, and that bit of innovation resulted in an F-sharp 4. So if you laid an F-sharp 4 against a D4, they would be in harmony, and that's definitely a musical skill. You know, somebody has to kind of either be trained to do it, or you do so much listening that you're just getting it automatically because you've got a good ear.
Autotune or not, singing smooth melodies isn't fluff. It's an intricate practice that adds another layer to a body of work, and Roddy Ricch's vocals, raw and treated over crisp beats, have become his trademark.
I think that if anybody is questioning that it's musical, they need to try to rap themselves. They'll find out how difficult it is and how the personality of the vocal and the pitch of the vocal is important.
Peanut butter 6 came perfect time. Rich, but I'm still ducking one time. I seen a light and I climbed in. Had to take 'em out, we ain't gon' dine in. Shawty done fell in love with all my diamonds. Let everybody change on you like to see.
If you can add to that a great melodic flow, you know, the world is waiting for you. We're out here listening.
I'm Delisa with Genius News, bringing you the meaning and the knowledge behind the music. At home.